These are signs you may be in a toxic relationship. There are many ways to identify if you're in a toxic relationship. You may be feeling you must be doing something wrong, that somehow you are the reason your relationship isn't going well. You've tried therapy. You've read many self-help books and gone to many self-help groups, watched tons of YouTube videos, but nothing has changed in your relationship no matter what you do. You're feeling that you're not being understood or treated with respect. You feel your partner blames you for all of the issues you have together. And when you try to tell your partner how you feel, you're ignored and not taken seriously. That's what you feel. You feel you are never good enough. You may feel you have lost parts of yourself because your partner is controlling and you no longer have any say in your relationship. You may be feeling isolated. My mother was in a relationship with a narcissist who kept us from seeing our mother. He basically isolated her. This gave him complete control of her mental and financial being. He continued to have influence over her whole life while we as a family were kept away from her. He gave my mom the attention and affection she was desperate for after our dad had passed away. She mistook that for love, when in fact it was a ploy to take over her life and her finances for his own selfish needs. You would think recognizing a narcissist or toxic relationship would be pretty straightforward, but it's not. It's a human need to want to be loved and to love. But if you're vulnerable and looking to fill an empty wound, like my mom was, you don't always have the ability to recognize a predator. My mom wanted to believe the best in her narcissist. She was lonely and grieving and was desperate to be loved. And this is the reason it's very important to be fully aware of the reality of who someone is versus the delusion of who you think they are. If we only choose to see what we want to see, we disallow the full truth and end up making excuses for others based on an illusion. When we live in an illusion, we allow abusive behavior, making excuses because our desperate need to be loved outweighs the truth that we are being manipulated and mistreated. And when you're codependent, this plays into our denial because if we face the truth, we may have to let this person go, which is our worst fear. My mom's situation is only one example. There are many other reasons we stay in these unhealthy partnerships. Sometimes we are co-parenting with someone and are afraid if we leave them, what will happen to our children in their care. Sometimes we're financially dependent on them. As I mentioned earlier about my mom, she was fearful of being alone. We may fear change and believe no one else will want us, especially if we've been verbally abused and have lost our self-esteem. And we believe we actually love them and get trapped in the good times, although they are only momentary. The truth is, change is scary. And when we finally have the courage to leave, we often go back to what is comfortable or what is known as the default position. What's important is to instead go to the edge of the discomfort. We know if we stay, we know what we will get. But if we leave, there is an enormous possibility for something better, a healthier relationship, a more fulfilling life. You are not alone in this. You are always being supported by the universe, and there is nothing more healing than sharing your experience with others with similar experiences. That is why you are either here or thinking of joining a community such as Wake Up Recovery. You are worthy of loving kindness and compassion, and having a community to hold you up is a great first step. The following are some journaling prompts I would like you to begin journaling on. Why have you stayed in unhealthy relationships? What do you notice in your body when you think of those unhealthy relationships? Does it feel expansive or constricted, and where? What fears come up when you think about leaving the relationship? What would it feel like to not be in fear of letting go? And what would it feel like to be on the edge of that fear? And what do I notice in my body as I move through that fear? As you can see, as we move through our fears, we often land in a more positive place. If we break our fears down, we will see they are false beliefs that are holding us back from change. Maybe you believe you'll be alone forever. Is that really true? Or maybe you believe no one will want you. Is that really true? An additional way we can challenge our fears is to approach them from a positive perspective. Maybe the truth is a more fulfilling life that awaits you if you let go. Maybe your next relationship is full of ease rather than struggle. What if all areas of your life change for your highest good if you let them go? So much possibility exists for you, even if you can't see it with all your senses. There is an invisible line, and if we allow it, the good is on its way. I truly hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're not already in Wake Up Recovery, check the post to see where you can join. Thanks again for being here. Bye.